Hello and welcome to Oromia Broadcasting Network, being voice for the people. I'm Ulkaba on the mobile hosting this program for you. This is our weekly program, Diplomacy. Today I'm joined by India's ambassador to Ethiopia, Robert Shetkintong. Many thanks for joining me and namaste.
Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you.
Well, Ambassador, just to begin with, how can you express the relationship between Ethiopia and India, especially their historic relationship starting from the ancient time? Thank you.
Ethiopia and India have a very long historical relationship. It is more than 2,000 years of recorded history. But in recent years, it's so visible because our relationship has grown from strength to strength. Let me start with 9th May 1936, when foreign forces entered Addis Ababa. Indian people who were there, who were then under the control of, or under the rule of the Britishers, actually organized mass demonstration to show solidarity to the people of Ethiopia. A few years later, when India got its independence, Ethiopia was one of the first countries to recognize India and establish diplomatic relations. Today, we have excellent political relations, but it is the commercial aspect that has become very visible because India is the second largest investor here. We have lots of Indian companies employing more than 75,000 Ethiopians.
So how can we express the current bilateral and diplomatic relationship between both countries?
First, let me speak about political leadership between our two countries have excellent relations. The last visit of the Ethiopian Prime Minister to India was in 2015, and the last presidential visit from India was in October 2017. So I could only say that we have excellent political relationship between our two countries. That is one aspect. The second aspect, I have spoke a little bit about the commercial aspect. That commercial aspect will grow from strength to strength because Ethiopia has always made wise economic decisions, and today you will see lots of foreign companies that are investing in Ethiopia. In India, we have been watching the economic progress, the economic growth that we have seen in Ethiopia for the last few years. And we see Ethiopia as the gateway into this region or Africa. Because Ethiopia already has a huge population, many companies are comfortable to come and invest in Ethiopia. See, for example, we have lots of companies who are investing in textiles. In textiles, you will see that we have Indian companies who are investing in Addis Ababa, in Hawassa, and even in Mekelle. And about 30,000 Ethiopians are employed by Indian investors in this sector. The other important sector is agriculture. So we have Indian companies who have farms, who have horticulture farms in Oromia. We also have in Gambela. So all over the country, we have Indian investors. So that is why, for me, the welfare of the Indian companies, of people working in these factories, who are Indian as well as Ethiopians, are very important. And I'm so happy to say that this is one aspect that I can always proudly say that we are doing very well in the business sector. Defense, if you would recall, Indian instructors had come to the Harar Military Academy in the 60s. Harar Military Academy was based on the Indian Military Academy in Dehradun, which is in India, a famous military academy. And during that time, Ethiopian officers who had passed out from that academy were considered to be elite, or people were very proud about them. Sadly, during the Somali invasion, this academy was closed. In the subsequent years, Indian instructors have come to the Air Force Academy and the Air Force Academy near Bishoftu, right? So they have come, they have been instructors here, And also, of late, in the last maybe 10 years ago, Indian military instructors had taught at the military academy in Holeta. So even in defense, things are going very well. We are very happy to extend training to the military officers from Ethiopia. So even in defense, we are doing well. Culture, there are more to do because India would be celebrating its 75 years of independence next year, followed by, we will celebrate our 75 years of diplomatic relations between India and Ethiopia. So in the next 2 years, I see a lot of cultural activities between Ethiopia and India.
Well, based on this, we can say the relationship between Ethiopia and India can call with an excellent stage. Yeah?
It is more than excellent. Leadership of both the countries have expressed positively that we should have strategic relationship between Ethiopia and India. I think this is the next step. When we say strategic, it covers all aspects of our relations. So I am very confident that our relations are more than excellent.
Well, for the future, what kind of activities are planned to be undertaken to scale up this diplomatic relationship into the next level?
India-Ethiopia relations can be seen from two aspects. So one is the bilateral, and the other is on the India-Africa Forum Summit. When it comes to bilateral relations, we are expecting visits that will happen between the two countries. At the moment, in the last 1 year, because of the COVID pandemic, visits have not taken place. But we are expecting important visits that will happen in the next 2-3 months. And when our leaders meet, they will give us directions. So I'm very positive. Number two, India-Ethiopia relations is not only about India and Addis Ababa. It is also many cities in India, and it is also many cities in Ethiopia. So we want it to be comprehensive. So if you see in that light, if you see investments that have come to Ethiopia in the last 1 year, you will see that there are new investors from other smaller cities in India, and they are also not only investing only in Addis Ababa, but they are also investing in almost all parts of Ethiopia. You will see that we have Alana Sons is one of the biggest meat processing meat exporter in the world. Today, they have the biggest meat processing plant in Africa, that is in Ethiopia. This is on the way to Hawassa. They have the biggest plant, and they have invested about $100 million on this plant there and in Mojo. So you will see that they are not only looking at Addis Ababa. Even in Mojo, we have 2 tanneries. And when military academy was based on the Indian Military Academy in Dehradun, which is in India, a famous military academy. And during that time, Ethiopian officers who had passed out from that academy were considered to be elite, or people were very proud about them. Sadly, during the Somali invasion, this academy was closed. In the subsequent years, Indian instructors have come to the Air Force Academy and the Air Force Academy near Bishoftu, right? So they have come, they have been instructors here, and also of late, in the last maybe 10 years ago, Indian military instructors had taught at the military academy in Holeta. So even in defense, things are going very well. We are very happy to extend training to the military officers from Ethiopia. So even in defense, we are doing well. Culture, there are more to do because India would be celebrating its 75 years of independence next year, followed by, we will celebrate our 75 years of diplomatic relations between India and Ethiopia. So in the next 2 years, I see a lot of cultural activities between Ethiopia and India.
In what ways the Indian embassy in Ethiopia participating in the community service works in Ethiopia?
One of the most important things of the embassy is to give the correct image, opportunities that are available in this country. So for us, as an Indian embassy, we give our feedback to India, that we encourage Indian investors to come and see for themselves. We also give them guidance. We also give them links. So this is the first important function of the embassy. Number two, it is not only to project about Ethiopia to India. We also give the correct image of India to Ethiopians, in the sense that why India is so important in healthcare facilities, why in the education sector we are complementary to. We are giving the best opportunities to Ethiopian students. These are also some of the things that we project India's image here. If you look at our embassies, our Facebook, our Twitter, you will see that we are not only talking good things about India, but we are also talking good things about Ethiopia to the Indian audience. So we try to serve people of both the countries.
How can you express the trade and the investment opportunities and the relationship between both countries, Ethiopia and India?
According to the figures that we have, India has invested $5 billion so far in Ethiopia, and $3 billion are on the ground. We have also provided what we call a concessional line of credit, which is about $1 billion US dollars. So for us in India, Ethiopia is one of the largest recipients of the lines of credit from India. So this is in figures. As I already mentioned, Indian companies are employing about 75,000 Ethiopians in their factories. Besides that, if you see, many years ago, Indian teachers used to come to Ethiopia, and even they were teaching in the remote places in the country. As I meet political leaders in this country, as I interact with businessmen, as I interact with professors and lecturers of the various universities, I am so proud when I hear from them that invariably one of their teachers was from India. So that was 60, 70 years ago. Today, we also have Indian professors and lecturers who are teaching in various public universities in Ethiopia. Even in Oromia, we have 4 or 5 universities. Wherever I go, I'm so proud to meet and interact with my Indian professors and lecturers. These lecturers and professors are actually are ambassadors of the two countries, because they are also helping in expanding our bilateral relations. So you will see that you have lots of various actors, various people who are contributing to our relations.
What's exactly the main areas of cooperation between the two countries, the biggest areas?
Biggest area, as I said, would be economic and commercial. The other thing which is recent is in science and technology. We will really give a push to our relations. Last year, we identified 50 projects where 50 projects of innovation where people from India and Ethiopia can collaborate. So we already had the first and the second meeting. Now in the next 5 years, we will work hard to make sure that most of these projects will become a reality. And when it becomes a reality, I think it's an opportunity for both the people from Ethiopia and India. So science and technology is very, very important. The other thing where I also want to work hard is bring research collaboration between universities of Ethiopia and India. This is a feedback that I have received from universities in this country, because in the last 2-3 months I have visited 5 or 6 universities, but mostly in Oromia and in Sidama. So what I have been told, or what the feedback that I get from these interactions with universities, is that we should collaborate, we should help in connecting universities from Ethiopia and India. So this is also another area that I will work hard in the next 2.5 years.
What will be the main plans during your tenure, during your stay in Ethiopia, your main plans?
We are looking at the India-Africa Forum Summit. This will be the 4th summit, and African side or African leaders have conveyed that this will be a summit that they will host in Africa. That will be very important. Number 2, as I told you earlier, next year we are going to celebrate India at 75, which will be a 1-year celebration. Followed by another 1-year celebration of Ethiopia-India 75 years of diplomatic relations. So I think these 2-year celebrations will be a celebration of culture. It will also be we will also organize lots of business seminars so that we can bring in Indian businessmen and Ethiopian businessmen together under one roof. They will discuss about opportunities, and then we will see how it goes. But it will be 2 years of culture, economic, educational, whatever issues that, whatever areas that you can think of, we will try to incorporate in that.
Well, both Ethiopia and India are a nation of nationalities and peoples. And what Ethiopia can take as a lesson from your country in sustaining unity and diversity among those nations and nationalities and people of the country?
Diversity is always to be celebrated, and Ethiopia has always celebrated that. You have said that, I think I have been told that there are more than 80 ethnic groups. In India, we have more than that. For example, I come from a state of Manipur. In the state of Manipur, I also come from a district called Chandel. In Chandel, there are about 10 ethnic groups. And to be frank, I also come from an ethnic group called Lamkang, that is about 8,000 people. So in my district of, let us say, 100,000 people, there are about 12 ethnic groups. So you will see that even there are ethnic groups that are smaller than my tribe. Now in India, what we have succeeded is that diversity has to be celebrated, but unity is also important. And I'm sure Ethiopia is also a country that celebrates its diversity, but will also safeguard its unity. So I believe in this sense that unity and diversity are two things, but they all go together.
How can you express the attachment of Ethiopian universities with that of Indian universities?
The role that is being played by 1,000 or 1,500 professors and lecturers from India is very important. What you should also understand is that Ethiopia and India have excellent relations. We are developing countries. We understand each other. Our cultures are similar. The environment where our universities operate are similar. So when universities having the similar backgrounds meet, they will understand each other quickly. And more than that, the leaders of universities in this country and the leaders of the universities in India are keen to collaborate. So I see that the end result will already be positive. 3, we are looking at Indian Center of Excellence in ICT. So there is one center that we will be establishing very soon. I am working with the Ethiopian government. Once they identify the university, we will establish one ICT Center of Excellence in that university. So we are also working on this.
Coming to the recent operation that was taking place in the Tigray regional state, Ethiopia, what's exactly your country's understanding about the operation? And finally, in what ways your embassy or your country, India, has been assisting Ethiopia in reconstructing and giving humanitarian assistance for the Tigrayan people?
I would like to thank the Ethiopian government and the UN agencies for helping in evacuating 220 Indian nationals from Tigray. So and I'm very thankful that none of them are injured. And whenever we approach authorities, they were very keen to listen to us. help us in bringing them home safe. So I am very thankful to them. In May 2020, the Prime Ministers of India and Ethiopia had telephonic conversation, and one of the main topic that they discussed was COVID-19, and both the leaders expressed solidarity and said that we will collaborate.
Well, Mr. Ambassador, I'm almost close to end with my questions. Lastly, if you have a general message for the people in government of Ethiopia, especially focusing on the current issue of the country, you're welcome.
Let us look at the positive things in life. Let us see how much opportunities that we can provide, that we can help create. And once we are positive, everything will be okay.
Well, dear viewers, this will bring us to the end of this edition. I will come on the move by hosting and producing this program for you. Till the next edition, have a wonderful week.